next week, hopefully, once it quiets down, is we are moving records which are necessary to keep for historic purposes or according to the MU1 indefinitely. We're gonna be taking those records down to the village cage in order to give us more room back here, because right now you can barely walk in that room. So we're gonna be taking those records down there and storing them. And Darren, you guys have some records over there that are permanent records that should be stored over there for safekeeping purposes.
And like I said, anything that's, cleared for disposal, then when we get an idea how much we got, maybe we can piggyback on somebody to drop this stuff in there.
I believe
For shredders.
the boxes on there, how many boxes was it total?
Looks like 2, 4, 6, 8 boxes and a file folder. So,
Yeah.
quite a bit,
Mm-hmm.
quite a bit.
So we get some nice space back there.
But is there a motion to authorize Elsa to clean out the records here?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. And I will sign this. Next up, Arbor Hill Bridge Project. I don't know how many of you have looked at the flyer the county's put out, and it's also on the county's website. So, proposal number 3 is the one that they kind of prefer, which is a brand new bridge. It has 5 foot of walking and bicycle room on each side and 2 driving lanes, which would be a whole lot better than what we've got. And it moves it away from the sharp bend off the second hole of the golf course. But if anybody has any comments, and it's open to anybody in the public too, you're more than welcome to log on to the county's website. You can make whatever comments, ask questions. But, if anybody wants me to take something in, just let me know. I've met with Sue McIntyre and gone over the proposals. I have to agree, I like playing 3 the best, and I can't see trying to retrofit that old bridge.
Yeah.
Have you looked at them, Darren?
Yeah, it's a good thing. Number 3 is certainly the best, because that's gonna benefit our roadway
Yeah.
the
That was
most.
gonna be question number 2.
Yeah. Yep, especially with the traffic that is down there.
Yep. All right. Well, we got our fiscal stress report from the state. It's based on our annual update document. Our fiscal stress number was great. We got a 0, which is as good as it gets. We've never been that. We've never been assigned. We've always been in the good end of it, but we did really well, which scares the bullets out of me for this next budget. The environmental stress, which has really nothing to do with environment, it's basically the conditions of your area, and it's based on population age, income, multiple factors where Delaware County and the southern tier as a whole do not fare well. We're still at I think it's a 33.2. We're unassigned, we're not in danger, but it's one of those, they're telling something we already know. We live in an area that doesn't have a lot of money, so be careful how you spend it. But it was the best we've had. So we're doing the best we can, I guess. NYMAR, we got a call from NYMAR. And I'm not sure where our vehicle losses have come in, but they think we should have our drivers taking training from NYMAR. Distracting driving awareness, backing up safely. So, have we had accidents that I'm not aware of? Cause I didn't really think we were, other than the one truck that broke and flipped the truck, but that wasn't driver error, that was mechanical failure.
Was that addressed specifically to us, or was it a
Yeah,
letter that went out to all towns?
no, it was addressed directly to me.
From the laws people, laws control guys?
Risk control manager.
I mean, you know, I don't panic, because I work with NYMER on a daily basis, and, you know, their laws control area tends to get carried away with things. Now, I'm not saying these training programs aren't good, because they are. Our town is not having a lot of issues, we haven't had accidents, you know. If we had, we'd be seeing it in our premiums, so, I think the main issue here is that, these programs are available through NYMER. They are good programs, they are things that we probably should utilize. There's snow plowing, safety programs, there's all kinds of things available through NYMER University. So, you know, my feeling is that, I think we do have a couple of individuals who tend to drive too fast. A couple individuals that may not be as safe behind the wheel as they should be. And maybe, those individuals should be given the chance to watch some of these videos and get some of this training to understand how serious their job is when they're driving these huge pieces of equipment down the road, loaded down with everything, that you really need to pay attention to what you're doing. So those programs are available for free, and NYMER does push those things to try to make sure that everybody does take advantage of them, and that's really what this is about. Obviously, laws control would like to see these things used on a regular basis. There's so many hours in the day, but these things are available online, and it is something that, you know, I think we just need to be aware of, that they're out there. And
Some
take
cold
advantage of
winter
them.
day when it's not snowing and the roads are dry, put the guys in front of the computer.
It's really
Just
good.
don't turn on
It's
the
a good training
cartoons
tool.
there.
It's a good training tool.
Yeah. I mean, that has to stem from that one incident, because there's really nothing else, like I said. And I've said it numerous times, our guys always come back,
Yeah.
that's the biggest thing. And that's
I
something to
know
be
our
proud of.
guys have way less claims than other
Oh, big.
surrounding areas. So I was a little surprised to get the phone call, and I got a little attitude thrown at me, and I was having a bad day, so I threw some feedback, and then we decided maybe we could talk about this more after the first of the year.
Yeah,
That's all available through that same program that the
Yeah.
harassment's on?
yeah,
Yep,
the sexual harassment program is part of
It's
that
all-
same thing.
all available from the same website.
It should be noted that we just got that sexual harassment yesterday. So not everyone is going to be able to take it by the quote-unquote deadline, because we did not get the information.
Ask me if I
Well, I want to know it that way, because this way it protects the employees here, that we have not, didn't get the information to take it, the training.
Well, the only one that would get in trouble over that is us, and, you know, because we're supposed to make sure it's done. Employees don't have anything to worry about, because, you know, you're told to do it, and if we're late telling you, that's on us. So,
Well, I've done it, and I know how to get on it now, so our guys will be able to.
now, the other thing with that too is
Brown
that
noser.
you may have someone like me, who's, I've done it with my own company, and I'm not doing it again, because once is enough. So if you have, I know the fire department has put this out there, it is an annual thing though. So if somebody did it, and they work another job and they had to do it there, that certificate that you have from the other job, as long as it's in the same year, it is okay. You don't need to do it 15 times, you know, because we do have situations where they work elsewhere.
Yeah, we raised the major stink about that, because I work for the town, I work for the county.
Yeah.
I have my own
Well, then I
business.
suggest that we send an email out to all these people that we just emailed, telling them that if they they've taken this at their job.
If
they
they've
don't
taken it and
to
have
do
a certificate, then they're already good.
Okay, well, I'm gonna request one of you send me an email so I can send it to them, Janet. If you could send me an email with all this information so I can resend that out to everyone that I've just sent this massive
Yeah,
email
that's
out to.
fine. I mean, it's
But I
just,
would like that in writing so I can
Yeah.
send it to them so that they're aware of this, because I was not made aware of this, so I sent them
well,
out.
the
a
whole
panic
program
email.
is brand new, and the state doesn't even know what they're doing. So
Okay, well,
And the state has nobody to come out and check.
they have nobody to
so-
come out and check it, and, you know, it's a bogus thing that somebody came up with, basically. But, like I said, you know, if you work for I know the fire department has done one of these. If you have a certificate that is within the same year, then that's okay. As long as you give that to, you know, we have that on record here showing you took this course somewhere. That's all it is. Because nobody's got time to take this 15 different times.
Does it have to be NYMER?
No.
No,
Okay, so
it
you're
doesn't have to
saying
be
any-
NYMER. No, NYMER's just offering the program.
The state has a program too, I took that. It was-
If you wanna pay $20
About
per
45
employee,
minutes of
you can do it
videos
that
and
way
a
too. You know, it's a money
test.
grab for some people.
She already put it, she wouldn't have to take it.
Well, you know, at least you know, as the chief, you know what everybody else has to do.
At least you should be able to pass it from here on out.
You know, I took it first, so I knew what everybody was gonna have to do.
And
I
that's
took
the
it
same
through
thing, everybody's gonna know how to get out of
Yeah,
it now, so it won't take so
exactly.
long.
you must have busted them to get that.
You had it easy there, you just had to answer based on what Nikki would do to you if you.
Take a picture of the cover.
How long did it take on yours?
Take a picture. Yeah, with you.
Good pointers.
We're closing our office tomorrow.
Okay, moving on,
Ooh, I
we've got the
the
judge
young
and,
students.
our dog control officer here that wanna talk about some problems we're having with our dog registration, vaccinations, et
So we
cetera.
don't pull that, yeah.
My name's Al Alwine, I'm DCO for Delhi and Courtright. Lately, I'd say within the last month, I've been working quite a bit with Elsa, trying to get this thing resolved. And what she did is she contacted the people that were delinquent with getting their dogs licensed and vaccinated. Roughly, it's about 2 pages, all right? Normally, when she drums up this list, I go around and I go door knocking and try and get these things caught up and taken care of. But it's to the point now where I'm getting phone calls, and if I leave them a note or a message at their door, you know, stuck in their door, they call me, I leave my number there, they call me and they tell me, I'm aware that my dog's not licensed and vaccinated, do what you gotta do. And then I've got another one that tells me here in the village that violated the leash law. They said, you know, the judge will throw it out. It's a waste of the judge's time. And the dog owner is probably at least 3 or 4 years being delinquent. And we just need to do something. Because if these dogs aren't licensed and vaccinated, somebody's gonna get bit and they're gonna contact rabies, and then somebody's gonna be in a lawsuit.
So what's our authority? I mean, why do we have a law that has no teeth? I mean, if they aren't governing the law, go take their
Well,
dog away.
this person told me that, Kathleen sent them a letter saying that they needed to be in court. That person was on the docket 3 different times and never showed up.
Go arrest them.
No authority.
Well, who has the authority? What,
Don't have
then
the-
what do we have a law for?
They don't have the authority under the current town law, and that's the problem. Town law is archaic. It doesn't provide for tools for Al to do his job as the code enforcement officer, for Elsa to do it as the licensing person, or for the court to do anything about it.
So why are we wasting money doing anything?
Well, if you choose not to do anything about it, as Al says, then you're gonna have dogs running around unvaccinated and
We have
unlicensed.
that now.
And then you have a problem, because if there is a dog bite or something happens,
We have to do it. it's an ag and market.
So we don't have a law. What's the
What
ag
you're,
markets
what
law?
he's stating
The
is our
agri-
law is archaic, we
the-
need to
Do we
update our law.
have somebody else's law?
The
can
agriculture
copy?
and market law is the only law that's applicable right now, except the dangerous law, which is not what we're talking about, licensing and vaccinating. The agriculture and markets law, if Al sees a dog that's unlicensed, and it's on the list, and he can seize that dog, he can take it and bring it over to the ASPCA, and it'll be impounded, and then notice is given to the last registered owner. Your dog is there, come and pick it up. If they don't come and pick it up, then after so many days passes, then they're authorized at that point in time at the shelter to free the dog for adoption. But in the meantime, don't ask me who's supposed to pay for the sheltering expenses that occur during that time. People today, I happen to be a dog person, and I wouldn't want to lose my dog, but I can't tell you the number of persons Al is running into that the people say, take the dog. And when you get to take the dog, okay, well now what do we do with the dog? And as the current law exists, even under the agriculture and markets law, I have no power to issue a warrant for arrest for their failure not to appear in court. I can't do anything with it. It just sits there. We keep carrying the case over and over again, sending out the notices to appear. They don't come in. They thumb their noses at us, and there's not a thing we can do. And it seems the only remedy under the A&M law is basically seize the dog, impound the dog, and ultimately free it for adoption. But as far as getting these people to comply, they just ignore the law.
So what is our liability if they refuse to comply? If we're serving them with notice that they need to get these things done, and they're just ignoring us, and then Fido bites somebody walking by on the sidewalk,
That's their liability.
what's our exposure?
None. We did our job. The exposure is to the person who owns the dog.
No, that's not to say we can't get sued.
Well, it's
But
a
our
long
lawyers
stretch.
would, deflect it back to the dog owner that's been notified.
So really, at this point, all our law is doing is keeping the honest people honest, is what you're saying.
To give you an example, I've been doing Courtright for about a year now, and they are way behind. The person that was ahead of me, retired or whatever, they have at least 3 to 4 pages of delinquent dog owners. We're doing pretty good as far as Elsa and I are concerned, and I just wanna know if I'm gonna go out there pounding on people's door and writing tickets, that's what we do. We warned them, we told them they got to the middle of this month, and then I'm gonna show up, I'm gonna issue you tickets. You'll have to go to court.
Now, when they
If
come
they-
to court, do they get a fine? Do we fine them? Is that what happens?
Yes.
Yeah.
The answer, that's the short answer is yes, but again,
Is that,
Your
That's if
ta-
they come to
It sounds
court.
like they're not coming to court, though.
if they come to court, but your town law, to be perfectly honest, is so outdated. The fines don't encourage, they don't set a precedent and make people realize, I better come rather than pay the fine that can be imposed by the court. I'm not sure, is it $25 or
I think
$50?
it's $50 first offense, 75 second offense, and $100 third offense.
That doesn't even get their attention. You know what I'm saying? So that's why the board has the opportunity to at least tune these laws up, increase the penalties that the people would suffer if in fact they ignore the licensing and shot requirements. And other than that, I've been advised by the lawyers from the judicial system, I can't issue a warrant if they don't appear. It's a town ordinance type situation. Agriculture and markets law doesn't provide for issuing a warrant. It's not an offense that you can get arrested on. It's just mainly compliance, and if not, then you get fined, or you could lose your dog. And people don't think that there's gonna be enforcement, to tell you the truth. They don't think anybody's gonna take their dog.
Well, obviously, that seems to be the case. You know, if we had a fine, I mean, we're worried about taking the dog and sending it over to the shelter because who's gonna pay for it?
Well,
Well,
we're gonna pay for
well,
that because we have
not if the
contract.
fine's high enough. If the fine's high enough and they have to pay the fine, you know, if
Well,
they
that's
don't pay
why
the
we
fine,
need
they lose
to
the dog.
update our laws,
Yeah.
basically what this is
Yeah.
amounting to, it's
Yeah.
time to update your laws.
Well, that needs to be brought to the attention of the board and it hasn't been. So
Yeah.
now it has been, so we need
Yeah.
to sit down and be advised on where we should go with these laws,
But
absolutely.
it's gotta be for the village and the town.
The village
Just,
has to do their own thing.
yep, just 2 weeks ago, about 10 days ago exact, cause, Sunday I had to go to this gal's, house because her dog, she was walking her dog later at night and it broke loose and it attacked this lady here in the village and her dog, and, the lady just disappeared. So after some lengthy investigation, I finally found the lady, and I told her, I says, ma'am, I believe this is the second offense you have with your dog, you know, doing this. And I recommend that you muzzle your dog if you're gonna be walking your dog in the village. And she come back and told me, I need that in writing. Okay, so if I wrote her a ticket, I just need to know where I stand, because tomorrow I plan on serving her with this ticket, and she's gonna have to come to court, and I wanna know what's gonna happen. You know, is the judge got the authority to fine her for her dog attacking this lady? The dog was on a leash, but not under her control. And according to the law, it says you need to. So we gotta do something.
Let me talk to our attorney, he works for multiple areas, maybe he's got one that has a working dog.
Well, today when I was up there, talking to you in your place of business, your son mentioned that Walton, sent him a bill, or they told him that he was gonna have to pay $365. That's like $1 a day.
Yeah, on a dog that's been dead for months.
Right, so
So,
if they're gonna do
guess what, you're
300,
gonna be issuing death certificates for dogs soon, if we get into this,
Oh,
cause
believe me, we've had several people
we've had a
call
lot of
and yell
people
that
that
their
come in
dogs
all
are dead.
upset, cause, oh, my dog died a year ago, that's why I didn't renew last year. Well, send us a note, you know, when you get your renewal, send us a note saying, I'm sorry, Fido passed away, so we know, so we take it off.
I
the
doubt
list.
that'll happen, that would be nice, but I do
We
see
do
where
have
there's
several people that do
major
do that.
issues
There are
with this.
people,
You know, there has to be some teeth in this law,
Yeah.
or it makes absolutely,
When we
it's a
say-
waste of your time to even have these people take up space in the courtroom,
if they show up.
you know?
Al's doing the work, we just can't get compliance.
There
I know
is
that.
notification when they're sent out, your dog license is due now. There is spaces on there that state, you know, relinquished dog, dog deceased, blah, 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 you know, it gives you all that. And some of them do. Some people are good and they will call us and say, my dog's passed on.
Sure.
Other people, you know, when you send them a threatening letter, all of a sudden will call and yell at you, well, my dog is dead. Well, I'm so sorry, you should have contacted me. So, I mean, but I agree with Al, our law is archaic. It hasn't been done since, I believe, 1997 was when the last time a dog law was done at the town. You know, Walton, we can check with Walton and see what their dog law is, you know. I have already talked to Hamden's, and, we can get a couple of different towns' dog laws, and you guys can see which one you like best and try to implement it. That'll fit our needs.
Okay.
I went on a dog call this summer to seize 2 dogs, and one of the dogs attacked me, and there was no identification on the dog's collar, and so I had both arms all chewed up from this dog. So I go to the ER, and I said to the gal, I'm like, what are we gonna do now? She says, well, do you know who owns the dogs? I'm like, no. I said, I didn't even get a call. The sheriff's department never got a call to somebody losing a couple of dogs. So they said, well, maybe we need to start the rabies vaccine. So luckily, that very I think it was that very same day, or not the next day, I got a call saying, you know, hey, I lost a couple dogs last night. I was hoping that they would come home, because they've gone off before and came home that night, but they didn't come home this time. And, like I said, I was all set to start the rabies vaccination, and luckily the dogs were vaccinated. So, I mean, the town may have had to pay the bill on that, I'm not sure, or if the dog owners did. But, you know, they need to do something.
Can I say one more thing?
Sure.
I was late on the old business,
Okay,
but now that we're talking about this, the mics still are not working. And I gotta tell you, my hearing isn't the best, but it's very difficult to hear your conversation up there at all. I just put the old ones back, however we have to do it. I don't care how we do it.
We were going to, yeah.
so what happened? You didn't talk to your brother, or?
No, if you remind me where they are, then we'll take care of it.
I'll send you an
All the
email
old
tomorrow.
equipment's in the closet here. And it's not that this equipment doesn't work, but
It doesn't, they don't stay on.
they don't stay on. There's gotta be some sleeper button that we haven't figured out how to kill it. So 60 seconds, if it goes that long and they die. Doesn't matter how new the batteries are, they just die. Sorry for the
Get you
late.
through the 160 people quicker.
Oh, let me tell you, we flew today. Kathleen and Al, even the DA, they did an excellent job, so it
I
was
saw the
really.
parking lot and kept right on going.
It was,
I'm
it
like,
was smart, I wish I could have done the
Yeah,
same.
yeah, it was packed. All right, so you're gonna check with Walton, and I'll talk to Dave and see if he has any in his different towns he works with that working well. Okay. Correspondence, I passed out a letter to the board members. It's something you're all aware of, and I don't discuss personnel, so it is what it is. O'Connor Foundation, I talked to Dave Merzig, we have to do an actual vote to accept any and all donations or grants. So we need a motion to accept the O'Connor grants.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
We also
Okay.
need paperwork associated with those grants.
Well, I've got paperwork on my desk, so
Any paperwork associated, please.
I gotta sign that so we can get that back to him. Alright. Any other new business?
No, but going back to all donations for the pool, because there's a certain amount. that we need to
Any and
accept.
all donations that are given to the town have to be accepted by the town.
Okay,
And if there's any conditions, you have to accept it with the conditions
okay.
noted, which is where,
In writing, everything has to be in
yeah,
writing.
it's, well, that way it winds up in the minutes. If you accept $10,000 to put a new playground and swing set in, and it can only be used for that, then
I don't wanna get carried away with that whole thing.
That's why I'm asking, because.
I know you don't, but seems I'm not gonna be leaving with you at the end of the year.
Well, I understand.
Or maybe I am, I don't know.
I just hate to see things get completely out of control because somebody has an opinion that makes no sense.
But it's a law.
whatsoever. It's
It
not
is
a law. Don't tell me it's a law, because that is not true. So, but in any event, you know, do
Agree
what
to
you must.
disagree on that, then I
We will
will agree to
disagree on
disagree
it.
with you on that.
That's fine.
All I can tell you is.
But all I know
that was
is
the-
town clerk, I put you on
Legal
notice.
opinion I got from Dave, so.
You are on notice with the town clerk.
I would have to talk to Dave myself, because I have a different opinion on how all that works. And I know from doing the pool project that we had absolutely no problem with doing what we were doing before. And so how that can all change in 5 minutes is beyond me. But that's just my opinion, and it's only good for 2 more months, so after that, you can do whatever you want.
Okay.
It will be in my minutes that you are on notice, so I'm gonna,
Do whatever you want.
it will be in the minutes.
Notice if that makes you feel better.
It will cover me.
Good. Then I notice.
Oh, yes.
What's the deal on the pool site investigation?
Yeah, I skipped that one.
Is
Well, I
that
was
bad
talking to
news?
Dave about the pool donations. He informed me he did finally get a email from somebody at DEC, because I'd gotten a call from an engineer that couldn't tell either one of us who he actually worked for. But there was a complaint filed that we built a pool in a landfill.